Hi. So I'm sitting here on the porch. I've been here for a couple hours because it did calm down and get a little cold, a little warmer out. I mean, a little cooler out. Oh boy. So I listen to inspirational stuff when I'm in between. What I'm in between. Hold on. Oh, that can't be right. Okay, so I try to listen to inspirational stuff whenever I'm in between trying to share some kind of inspiration. And it dawned on me. I got a praise report the other day about the sea moss. Okay. And the person had a bad knee or on bad knees. And he was taking the sea moss and he noticed he wasn't depending on the apparatus. He didn't give me the whole story, but he kind of went right in. That's just how new people are. That they don't really give you the backstory. But I guess he figured I knew the backstory. So what he did was he started walking up a hill, and he noticed that, well, wait, he walked up a hill, and I guess last week he wasn't able to do something like that. I have people who have infirmities around me, and they rely on the apparatus. Now, hey, I personally, I know you want to know, well, did it work for you? Or, all right, here's the thing. I would want to tell you things that work for me and just leave it at that, but I want to show you why they work for me. But that's all. You guys are adults. Or why something worked for me, or, blah, blah, blah. All right. So that was kind of significant. That this particular person had a moment of clarity. And this is what I want for you. I want you to know that the stuff that man gives you, mankind always has a way to fix your problem. The problem is when they put you back together, there's extra pieces. Like when we try to put something together and we don't want to follow the instructions, or even worse, we took something apart and got an extra piece or a screw or something and we don't know where it goes. It's kind of like along those lines, but I mean, it is what it is. You do what you know to do, and if you don't learn to do better, you won't do better. Or when you learn better, you'll do better, or something like that. There. But I'm just sitting here trying to deal with this inspiration I have. So, if you get a chance, I want you to look at the things you tried and they didn't work. All right? There, you have to understand and you have to expect you're going to get more no's than you're going to get yeses. And that's only because most of the people that can help you are just subjected to telling you no. Or they'll say things like, well, I can't give you legal advice, or uh, I can only give you this type of medication, and I can't tell you how to cure yourself. Stuff like that there. One thing that kind of what was a wake up call for me years ago was I was introduced to this medical term. You're healed. So they ask you to take this, or whatever, and come back in a couple months. You have to realize that when you go to hospitals, they're not going to give you anything that's going to cure you tomorrow. Okay? They may give you something that'll mask the pain until your body has a chance to heal. Okay? And then when you come back in a couple of months, they'll say things to you like, well, you're healed. Or they'll say things to you like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. All right? And that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is they'll tell you, okay, we'll stay on the medication until we take you off of it. But the thing is the healing comes from yourself. And, it will be nice to have somebody who is known for healing to come and lay their hands on you and you receive healing right away. That will be nice. But how many of us does that actually happen to? But there are so many of us that can actually say, they got healed from something. And you may not know any of them. But, enlarge your territory. Enlarge what you listen to. Listen to people outside of your territory. I think that Boaz was a person in the Bible who prayed to have his territory enlarged. And the thing is, when we get our territory enlarged, and you will, if that is the kind of prayer that gets an answer. Just like if you ask for prayer for wisdom to lead the people, you'll get it. If anyone who prays and asks for wisdom, they'll get it. Okay? The only problem is we may not recognize it when it comes to us, or we may not recognize the answer when it comes to us because it didn't come the way we thought. So, for example, there was this one guy who was on this trail, and I guess it was over there in the motherland or whatever. And back then, the trails weren't really that wide, but it is what it is. So this donkey just stopped. It's hot. The donkey stopped. You're trying to get to wherever you're trying to go. So, understandably, the guy who loaded him up with all this stuff to carry for him, he started beating him. Come on, keep it moving. Let's go. Or whatever. And eventually, the donkey said, can't you see that angel that is in front of me? So the mule started talking to the man. The angel wasn't actually talking to him, but that angel was there to talk to the man. But the donkey needed him to stop hitting him. He needed to handle what was in front of him. So if a mule or if a donkey or if a jackass can see an angel, why can't you? You have to ask yourself that. I mean, we learned from the Bible that we may entertain angels unaware. So be nice to everybody kind of thing, but there are angels that you can be aware of. If you look at some of the stories in the Bible, when angels did show up and people were aware of them, they automatically just started trying to praise and worship them or something. And a good angel will tell you, hey, don't worship me. Yeah, I'm just an angel. I'm just here to help. Okay, so anyway, kind of keep that in mind. This is just something that you're going to learn as you're enlarging your territory. This is why the road to destruction is broad, but the road to the narrow path. But the road to the narrow path is narrow. I don't know. I'm not actually looking at it. Just type in some of these words and the correct scripture will come up. Look, I'm not trying to be the gold mine that you find that's full of gems, but I might have one gem or two in me that you might be able to use. I've collected too many gems, knowledge, and information to try to share them all with you. And most of them I probably wouldn't share with you because from my perspective, these gems are being placed on his spiritual crown, that when it's time for me, I'm going to lay my crown at his feet, kind of like Moses did. But it depends on your perception of what would actually happen to Moses, okay? So, anyway, I didn't prepare what I wanted to say, but I just want to encourage you to keep going. You're really outnumbered. Everything for you is going to be a distraction, and I can prove it. The second you wake up, have your wake up call, or become, I don't know what the kids call it, wake up, or conspiracy theorist, it's called something. And I'm kind of going around the word, but I can't exactly think of the word. But anyway, you're going to get distracted. And if you didn't write it down, the Bible says, take his word and hide it in your heart. Okay? It's up to you and your perspective of where the heart is. But anyway, I digress. I noticed that a lot of times I'm watching something and they may drop a gem, and then I'll go try to find that gem. I'll pause the video. Oh boy. And I'll go try to find the context from what they're saying. Okay? So, I may forget to come back to that video. So, because I got distracted. Okay, yeah, the information I got matched, or the content that I was referred to matched to what they're saying. But at the same time, I kind of forgot. I went down what people now call a rabbit trail. So it's easy to lose your focus. I mean, a few people can get on a subject and follow it all the way through. But most of us, we just go with the big picture. Or at least I did. Went with the big picture. So sometimes I go down a rabbit trail, but that's because of the picture I have in my head. I'm trying to tell you what I'm seeing. All right. So anyway, I digress. So the gems that I want to leave, if it's the last thing you ever hear me say, I want you to learn how to meditate. I want you to learn how to control your breathing. And let me tell you why I say that. Number one, when you control your breathing, you actually feel your body relax. So that would mean before you started meditating, your body wasn't relaxed. You are used to it. You're used to walking around all wound up and all tense, and you got to use your marijuana or whatever to calm down, or drink your beers or something. I've done that. But that was before I learned about meditating. Years before, and I did it for years, and I ended up with what they call hypertension, which was really weird because all my life, anytime I had an opportunity when I was younger to have my blood pressure taken, it was 120/80. And there's no reason for it to really be high now because I don't have any cholesterol or anything blocking any of my veins. And I found that out because I did a research study, and they actually would pay you a couple dollars to come in, and that they would do some kind of EKG or something. I don't know. You would have been there, and it would give them a picture of your veins and see if you had any plaque in it. And I didn't have any. And the doctor, he was kind of dumbfounded by this, and he wanted to give me another dosage. And I kind of looked at the machine operator, and I noticed a little bit of concern, but I was at that age where I trusted the doctors, and I didn't even ask him for an additional payment since, hey, you gave me 2 shots. I was only supposed to get one, but if it happens again in the future, hey, I learned from experience. Okay. But anyway, so I know that I don't have any plaque in my veins. So for me to have high blood pressure, then it has to be coming from something else. Why is my heart working harder? And it's because of something from the inside. I mean, nothing from the outside is bothering me. Look, I'm sitting on the porch. I could take my blood pressure right now, it would be 147. That doesn't make any sense. 147 over 83. So it doesn't make in any sense. So I found that deep breathing and meditating actually brings it down. And I'm fine. I don't know, after I measure it and it's at a lower rate or whatever. Well, blah, blah, blah. You guys are adults. I don't measure it again hours later. Because I do know that I can reach a state of just being calmed down. All right. So you may notice that people may tell you calm down a lot. It isn't really calm down from what you're doing. Like if you're an adrenaline junkie or anything, they're not trying to tell you to, stop riding your motorcycle over the top of a mountain. You can't see what's coming the other way. I digress. I think I have a sense of humor. But they can look at you and see that your face is turning, let's just say, beet red. So that means, you need to calm down. And if you're melanated, you might not get that deep red face. Okay, but people can see it, especially your friends who know your disposition. So be careful who your friends are. And if you have a friend who isn't telling you anything, teaching you anything to help you get better, you'll have to learn what to do about that later. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just trying to tell you what works for me. And the only thing I can tell you is I really didn't have that many friends anyway. So there weren't really people speaking into my life talking about, hey, you need to calm down. All right. So anyway, I digress. I just wanted to leave that one praise report about the compound that the person I gave it to had taken, and they noticed a distinct difference. I don't think that they were measuring it, but just out of habit, I think they actually took it, and it actually made a significant difference. It made enough of a difference for them to call me and say, hey, I just walked up a hill. All right, so this is what I want for you. If you enlarge your territory, if you come out of the way you think, if you don't allow yourself to be distracted, if you control your breathing. Now, I'm not saying he did all this stuff, but if you're not taking a compound or something like that, these are some things that you can try. Try some of the things they talk about on the alternative medicine channels, like ashwagandha, sea moss. I'm doing something now called elderberry, and I found that elderberry for me is a wonderful substitute for coffee. I've been on coffee for too long, and there's no way for me to be trying elderberry and finding that it's the same as coffee. It is so much the same. It comes in seed form or whatever, bean form or whatever, and you can put it into your little blender so you can put it in your grinder and actually put it in your coffee maker, and it makes coffee. I'm telling you right now, it tastes just like coffee. So I want you to try things you hear about and not go with the distractions. And clearly don't go with your understanding, because a lot of our understanding is from what we heard, not actually from what we tried. And when we go from our understanding, maybe we have more failures than successes. Look, I just want you to be happy. And I don't want anything that you try and get a good response to, I don't want that to be the last thing you try. I want you to be like, oh, well, let me try something else. Oh, okay. So, anyway, I don't want to go on and on. I hate when I do that. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I love you all so much. But this is all I have to give. If I had $5, I'd give it to you. Long time ago, I believed that I was the kind of person that would give you the shirt off my back. I mean, why wouldn't I? I had more shirts and you didn't have a shirt on, especially if you could fit it. So I digress. I'm rambling. Okay, love you.